And that's only impact. That's his impact on that unit simply because he accepted his role. He could have been completely disruptive and he could have done a whole bunch of different things, but he accepted his role and he excelled at his role better than I think Draymond did.
Ticket.
Totally agree, man. I mean, bro, listen, when you look at Draymond Green, can't shoot, can't post, and he's passing it to two of the greatest players to ever shoot the ball in the history of the game of basketball. Add KD onto that. Dude doesn't even average 10 assists. So you a dude that's passing to those guys, average 10 assists. And then the year that Clay doesn't play, what happened? I mean, his game went to absolute doo-doo. So, I mean, can we even put him on Dennis Rodman level? You put Dennis Rodman on any team, he's getting you 15 to 18 rebounds. You put him on any team, he's giving you the same energy. You put him on any team.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
What was Dennis Rodman on the Spurs?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't, J. Will. No, led the league in rebounds per game. No, he wasn't. Led the league in rebounds. No, he didn't.
But okay, what was his impact on the Spurs winning? Is what I'm talking about. He said put him on every team.
I hate this nigga on the bottom. By the way, it's giving dick sucker vibes. I'm sorry, no disrespect to the man on the bottom, but I don't like this dude energy. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, this is why I don't do these types of shows with these panels. Don't have many more than one. You know, this is why I don't have guests, man, because I get to get my shit off 100% without no interruptions and no weirdos. But what was Dennis Rodman on the Spurs? To answer this dude question, because I don't think Ticket answered the question like that, but I'm gonna answer it for you. Dennis Rodman was a force on the Spurs. Dennis Rodman became like his true self on the Spurs. Like, this is his first time, you know, because on the Pistons, you know, he was a young boy with a bunch of big brothers. And now he goes to San Antonio. Now he gets to help out David Robinson in the paint. You know what I'm saying? David Robinson do all the scoring. Dennis Rodman check everybody's best big man. You know, he'll check the Shaqs. He'll sometimes do some time on Hakeem. You know what I'm saying? But Dennis Rodman was impactful on the Spurs. They just couldn't win an NBA title with that team because San Antonio didn't have like a number 2 scorer. They didn't have that guy that could get you 20 every night. You know, you had Sean Elliott, Mario Ellie, but you ain't have like a dude. Can you imagine if Tracy McGrady was on that San Antonio team? Can you imagine Vince Carter, Big Dog, Ray Allen, you know, one of them types, you know what I'm saying?
He said put him on every team.
Well, let's say this. Watch this right here. When you look at that situation with the Spurs, you got to look at the Spurs as if, okay, you saying winning, you mean winning a championship? You mean getting to the playoffs? Or you just
I don't know what the Spurs did. I think I don't even know what the Spurs did with Rodman.
What they did was they kicked him off the team because he kicked him.
I don't know what the Spurs did with Rodman. You just asked him, how are you? I don't know what the Spurs did with Rodman. I mean, well, I can remember them being like in the second round, Western Conference Finals, but being unable to get over that hump. Because like I told you, Robinson can only do so much as a number 1 option. Like, there wasn't a solid number 2 option that you can name from that Spurs team. Rodman's job was to rebound. He's not a scorer.
Reporter in the nuts. That's
first of all, that's not. Whoa! Stop right there. Hold on for a second. That's not true. He didn't kick the reporter in the nuts. He ain't do that. He did that with the Bulls. That's number 1.
I was about to say that, but
number 2.
We're not letting people off today.
No, it didn't. Number 2.
Not at all. Not even close.
Just to give you,
it was in the thigh. But anyways,
and just to give you a quick backstory, Dale, just so you know, when he was in San Antonio, they did go to the Western Conference Championship, and Olajuwon dominated David Robinson in that Western Conference Championship.
Badly.
So, and that was the furthest that they had gone with that crew when Dennis got on the crew. After Dennis got off the crew, they went the other way. And when I say the other way, I'm talking about, in addition to injuries, they were at the bottom of the Western Conference without Dennis.
They had a terrible run of injuries and bad luck. That's how they ended up with Tim Duncan, a terrible run.
Right.
So we're not going to just attest to Dennis Rodman leaving, because the fact of the matter is him saying, how did Draymond, two things he said that was the craziest thing to me.
I really don't like dude on the bottom. I'm not going to hold you, bro. But they said something that I feel like, okay, so 95, they got what? Eliminated by the Houston Rockets, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was that 94? But because 95, yeah, it was 95, because I remember Hakeem Olajuwon busting David Robinson ass, killing that nigga, just eating that nigga like fish food, fresh fish on the line, nigga. And, you know, they allowed, you know, Dennis Rodman. Man, they didn't put Dennis Rodman on Olajuwon that much in that series. They just let them two go at it. But here's my thing, right? When Rodman left the Spurs, 1996, Robinson gets hurt. 97, same thing. Robinson gets hurt. And they end up tanking. 96. Robinson get hurt. They tank. They end up getting Tim Duncan the next year. They tanked. And then once they got Tim Duncan, it was on, because that was the 20-point score that they needed. But let's continue.
Saying Draymond alone, we're not looking at Draymond to be a leader. Like, we're not going to judge Dennis Rodman if his pieces is not with him. So we can't bring that up for Draymond, judging him without his core. We're not judging Dennis Rodman without his good core. That's one. You can't bring up Draymond passing the ball to Steph and Clay when Dennis Rodman is on the team with Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan.
And that's a fact.
Right.
Like,
so that's my thing. It's influential to wins. Like, if you ask me who's the better player, I hold Dennis Rodman in very high regard. One of the greatest, if not the greatest rebounders ever. One of the best defensive players, if not greatest defensive player ever. I actually have him one. But influencing the team, here's what I know. So I always look at what I know. I know the Warriors, look, you can't have Draymond as the number 3 option on the team. I get it. He's not that guy. But he did so much for that team. They can't win those chips without him. I saw Scottie and Pip win with Horton.
I don't know, bro. I think the Warriors may have not won 4 championships without Draymond Green, but they can win a championship without him. At least 1 or 2. But none? I don't know about that, boss. You put David West, prime David West in that position. You put a nigga like, I don't know, somebody solid at the 4. That Warriors team was coming, regardless of who played the 4. They constructed that team well. These niggas is tripping.
Grant, I saw them 3-peat with someone else. So I know that they could win without Rodman. I get it. It was a few years separated, but that's why I slight edge to Draymond, because I can't see the Warriors winning without him. I saw the Bulls do it without him.
Well, Anthony, I disagree. I think if you put any solid big man in that position, for example, if you was to put a guy like just an average big man who just made a couple of all-star teams the same as him.
As who? As which one? Which one are you talking about?
On the Warriors or the Bulls?
Paul Millsap. If you just replace him with Paul Millsap in his prime, I think he's going to say Warriors.
With Draymond?
Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap made 4 all-star teams.
No. Listen. I am not a fan of Draymond, but that man is their primary ball handler.
What he said might have been controversial, but you got to think about it. He said a prime Paul Millsap. Prime Paul Millsap was a 20 and 10. Prime Paul Millsap is comparable to Elton Brand before the injuries. If the Warriors had a nigga like that on that team. Now, here's the thing though. You're trading a guy who needs the ball in the post to work out over a guy who can push the rock a little bit and set players up and who is unselfish and is a willing passer. Now, yes, you can win with either, but every team do need a guy like that's unselfish like a Draymond. I'm not discounting what they're saying, but what Ticket is saying is like you're adding 20 points and 10 rebounds, which will probably decrease to like 15, 16, and 11. But Steph pushes the rock more. I think Steph would average more assists. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit for being a dope-ass point guard. You know, he gets more credit for shooting. But Draymond does take some pressure, ball handling pressure off of Steph. So you'll be trading that away. But you get a guy that's very effective in the post. You know, the Warriors would have Kevon Looney, JaVale McGee, or Zaza Pachulia, or Andrew Bogut. I still think they win those titles with Millsap instead of Draymond. But the impact, but it'll be a little bit more difficult for Golden State to win because Steph not only has to handle the ball, but has to run around screens and have to trust, Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa to find him coming off them screens. And though, Livingston's a decent passer, but not a great passer. But let's continue.
He does the dirty work. He does all the stuff. No, Paul Millsap could not play that role. No.
But what happened to your Klay Thompson didn't play?
Well, Ticket, hold on. Let Jay Will step in for a second.
Listen, man. Paul Millsap's a good player. If you comparing Paul Millsap and Draymond Green, you might as well compare me and Steph. God dang it!
not only that, Jay, it's completely different because we're talking about Steph. We're talking about Draymond, who got on the Golden State Warriors when they were whack, and they built the camaraderie. What do you mean that's not true? He got them in 2012. They had won one playoff series in 26 years.
But they had injuries. But old boy was injured the year he came in.
Oh boy, who? Right, which means that they were whacked. So with that being said,
but you can't. But you hold on. You put a discount to that because Steph Curry wasn't there. But when I'm asking y'all what happened the year that Klay Thompson wasn't there, the 2 years Klay Thompson wasn't there, why did his game go to doo-doo? Why did he shoot 38% from the field? Why the dude couldn't hit it? Why he suddenly couldn't hit 3-pointers anymore? He shot 27% from the 3-point line.
How much did he shoot? How much percentage did he shoot this year? How much percentage he shot this year from 3?
I don't know what he shot this year from 3, but I'm asking you.
It's probably the same as 27. So stop bringing up stats that don't matter.
No, the year Klay Thompson wasn't there.
Hold on. Let's look that up. That's a very good question. Let's bring up Draymond Green's numbers. Why don't we? Let's check this out. Let's see. Podcast. 3-point shooting. Let's see what Podcast was shooting from the field the year that Steph wasn't there. Let's look that up, B. Let's see. Because let's see, what year was that when Klay and them wasn't there? Let me check. Let me figure this shit out. Okay, this is the year where they was ass. Because Klay wasn't there. Scotty wasn't there. Scotty doesn't know, B. Because this is the year this is what we looking for. This is the year we looking for. Okay, Draymond Green shot 28% from 3 that year and 39% from the field. Okay. Ticket was right. Okay. And my man asks, what did Draymond shoot this year from 3 and from the field? Let's find out. Draymond shot 53% from the field. 53% from the field. And 30% from 3. So, yeah, that is a significant drop from 53% to 38% from the, damn, that's a significant drop off without Klay Thompson being there. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. I ain't gonna lie, that's tough as hell. Because Draymond Green, wow, I cannot believe he shot that low from the field. Like, damn, that is a hell of a contrast. This year with Steph and Klay, it's 53% and 30% from three. And then we go back to 2019, 2020, when Klay and Steph weren't there. And %39, 28%. Significant drop off. Yeah, and then I remember when the going got tough, Draymond, sat out the rest of the season. He had a finger injury or something. I don't know. I think he faked it, but that's not hey y'all, disclaimer. Allegedly he quit. Let's just say that. Let's say allegedly because we can't confirm that for real. So it's just an allegation, not a confirmation.
What did he do? The year you took one of the
We agree.
greatest
He can't be a number two option. Neither could Dennis.
And nobody's saying that.
No.
It's not about
Nobody's
numbers.
saying that.
It's not about numbers.
Don't y'all believe that if a dude is a Hall of Famer, don't y'all believe that he should be able to elevate his game? For example, when Scottie Pippen was out and it was Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan, what are they doing in the Eastern Conference?
But
What
you
they do in
see,
Eastern Conference?
okay, you,
No,
all right, hold on.
You can't have it both ways.
You're trying to have it both ways.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to do.
Hold on, Ticket. Let me answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question.
Hold on. Ticket. Hold on, Ticket.
Let me answer your question. Let me answer your question. They had a hell of a run when Scotty went out with Michael and Michael and Rodman. Pause yourself now. The fact of the matter is, it's a difference between a season that already started when my player's hurt, but he's coming back, than a full season. Klay Thompson was going for a full season.
So
You see Dennis Rodman?
What happened to the season with Scotty before then?
Two seasons.
Come back. What happened with Scotty?
Dennis Rodman was not there. Dennis was not there.
We talk about influential.
Hold on, Fluent. Dennis wasn't there when he was begging Mike to come back.
No, you're not
wasn't
hearing
with
what I'm
Scotty.
saying to you. No, you're not listening to what I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you, you guys putting so much stock into Scottie Pippen. I'm asking you, what did Scottie Pippen do the year right before when he asked Mike to come back?
We're not talking about Scottie Pippen. You are.
No. You said no. Listen.
Why this nigga getting so combative? This nigga acting hella light skinned to be dark skinned. This nigga remind me of Derrick Jackson B. It's giving Derrick Jackson vibes. Why is this nigga so pressed?
I asked you, what did Draymond Green do when Klay Thompson went away? That's the other second best guy on the team, right? So, but I told you, what did Michael Jordan do when Scottie Pippen was out with Dennis Rodman?
Well, first of all,
Dennis's impact on the team.
With that being said, Ticket, now what you're doing is you mixing apples with oranges, because now you asking me to do Klay's job, you asking me to do Steph's job when Steph was out, you asking me to do Klay. None of these things are my job. I am not a scorer. I've never been. Once again, well, yes, he is a Hall of Famer. You know why he's a Hall of Famer? Because it's called the Basketball Hall of Fame, Ticket. It's not the one-on-one Hall of Fame. It's not the scoring Hall of Fame. Because all of your logic. Wait a minute. Hang on for a second, Ticket.
I hate to be that guy, but I truly think that they're going to put Draymond Green in the Hall of Fame one day. I wouldn't be surprised. But by my standards, is he a Hall of Fame? Fuck no. Fuck no. But however, his accomplishments, and his accomplishments are going to put him in that Hall of Fame shit, though. He's going to be inducted one day. Whether people like it or not, whether it be 20 years from now or 30 years from now, that nigga's going to be there, unfortunately. Me, personally, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I just think that he's a very good role player who, in his prime, played pretty damn good defense, interior and perimeter. But, sometimes you get drafted to the right system and things can fall right into place.
Your logic is based strictly off the fact of what Dre did when these guys were out of the lineup offensively. That's all you're talking about. You're not talking about any part of his impact. You're not talking about.
I heard you on here before say to be an all-star or to be a Hall of Famer, your game should travel. You think Draymond Green can do the same thing with the Detroit Pistons? You think Draymond Green can do the same thing with the Orlando Magic?
Well, that's not
the same. When you pass into the two greatest shooters ever played the game of basketball.
That's not the same thing. And the reason why that's not the same thing is because Dennis Rodman didn't just go from the Pistons to Oklahoma City. He went from playing with the Pistons to playing with David Robinson to playing with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. So it wasn't a situation where Dennis went to a super back. He didn't just do that. So that's not the same thing.
So let me ask you this: if you were to put Draymond Green with a team like Philadelphia right now, you think he makes a difference?
That's not the same thing, Ticket. You comparing apples and oranges. You know why? Because Dennis, not only did Dennis Rodman grow up with that Detroit Pistons team, that Draymond grew up with that Golden State Warrior team. And now you asking him in year 11. Now you asking him in year 11 when his game is over.
That's actually a good point. Not gonna cap. Good point.
Been established to get on a Philadelphia team where they're doing something completely different. And you're asking him to do what he was doing with the Golden State Warriors. Now, wait a minute.
I'm asking you, hold on, but OG, do you think he can adapt? Hold on, but do you think Draymond Green could adapt and change his game and be able to be that same? Because listen, when I think about a Hall of Famer, I think about a dude. I agree with what you said. You can put him in any situation and he gonna be who he is.
Right.
I don't think you can put Draymond Green in any other situation than the Golden State Warriors with Steph Clay and KD.
Yo, Ticket. That's a hypothetical though. We gotta go with what we've seen.
Wait. Hold on, wait. Ticket.
He did nothing.
Okay, Ticket. Hold on a second, Ron. You haven't said much. I'm gonna let the floor is yours.
We gotta go with what we've seen. Yeah, we can say, would Draymond do this over here? Would he do this over here? We don't know that. All we do know is that on the Warriors, he makes an insane impact on them winning.
What was the impact?
That's all we know.
That's all.
Look, the impact is beyond.
Listen.
Hey, he ain't lying. He's not lying, bro. No cap. No cap. They haven't answered that question. Why can't they say nothing? He didn't do anything. His numbers dropped. His production dropped. Because he's not that guy. He needs Steph and Clay out there so that Draymond can set the offense up for them. Why can't they just say that?
Listen.